What's up, everyone? Darren here at Rosayo. So this is part one of my AK DSG build. This is going to be a relatively simple build. It's just a regular 18 to 1 8-tooth DSG. Pretty boring. I've done plenty of these already. The only reason why I want to do this for an AK is because, as many of you guys know, AKs tend to have really squishy triggers. So I intend to shorten the trigger, and I also want to make the gun sound fast. So that's the reason why I am going for a DSG. Also, I'm building this on a AKS-74U, so the gun is fairly short. That's another reason why I want to build DSG. I'm not going to be using the full cylinder anyways, so I might as well do it. And also, these parts are cheap. If you buy the SHS DSG gear with the SHS gear set of your choice, like 16 to 1 or 18 to 1, it's about $40 US total. And Siege Tech normally costs $130 US. If you pay for shipping, it's probably like 150. So that means that SHS parts, the DSG gear set, it's almost 3 to 4 times cheaper. So that's the reason why I'm going for the SHS stuff. If you have the money, buy Siege Tech, but for now, the SHS gears is more than enough. I also picked up a very nice RetroArms orange selector. This is one of those selectors where you can move it with your index finger, so this is a little bit handy. I just picked orange because I like orange, and I wanted something a little bit different. I also have one of their orange triggers, an orange flat trigger. I figured this will feel a lot nicer on an AK. I've never owned an AEG AK with a flat trigger, so this is somewhat of a different experience for me. I've owned a GBB AK with a flat trigger, so I really like that, so I hope this will feel nice once I have it all assembled. And I'm going to be using a Perun V3 optical MOSFET, so I'm very excited for this build, is because I figured that would work very well. Originally, I was going to get a Gate Titan, but after Perun started to make their MOSFETs, I figured I would give theirs a try. Let me see, what else is there to talk about? Of course, the Gearbox. This is a RetroArms version 3 quick change spring guide gearbox. So it has, that's why they call it the QSC. So this spring guide is quite fancy looking, to be quite honest with you. This is just some sort of nylon or plastic washer. I don't really know why they do that. I thought they used ball bearings, but I guess I'm wrong. I recall in the past they used to use that, but because I've seen people use V2 gearboxes, and I swear they had a ball bearing, but now they no longer do that. So not that big of a deal, but sort of wish they had that. Anyways, as for the tapper plate, I am actually using the stock LCT tapper plate, and the reason why is because the stock LCT tapper plate feels like it's more durable than the SHS one, or this is just a China brand one. I wasn't really expecting much out of this, but the LCT one is actually really strong. This is really nice plastic, and they also use the same for the selector plate. So this is pretty cool. I'm kind of glad that LCT sort of stepped up their quality for some of their parts. I'm also using the LCT stock cylinder head. This cylinder head is a double O-ring cylinder head. It's very, very nice. However, their cylinder sucks. I don't really know why. There's like scratch marks inside the cylinder. It looks really, really bad. It actually looks like when they machined this area, it somehow affected the inside. And this cylinder is just not very good. So this is just a spare cylinder that I had laying around. I'm just gonna use this. It's not technically the right one, but it's for an 8-tooth DSG, so it doesn't really matter for now. And this is just an SHS piston head because it's cheap. I'm just using a bunch of China parts because they work. I had to rework I had to flare this O-ring because the air seal was not very good. Now it's good, right? You can tell that it bounces back. So the air seal is working. Now, the weird thing about LCT AKs is that when it comes to their nozzles is a little bit shorter. Luckily, the stock nozzle that comes with your LCT AK, it already has an O-ring on it, so you don't have to swap it out. You can actually rework the air seal for that. But just to let you know, LCT AKs, they use the short nozzles. Just be wary of that when you're upgrading your LCT AK. I think that will matter once you get the once you start working on your LCO and stuff like that. I figured that that's something important to note. And for now, I haven't done anything to the chamber. This is still stock. Haven't done anything to it. I might flat hop it because I intend to use this build for CQB. So flat hopping is, I'm going to flat hop it because it's a little bit more simple. It's cheap to do. I can do it in the stock hop-up chamber. Now, unfortunately, this build is going to take a while. And the reason why it's going to take a while is because, first off, I have a few issues with the RetroArms Gearbox. For now, I sense that the fitment of the MOSFET in this gearbox feels a bit off. I'll talk about that in part 2. The reason why I'm not going to talk about it right now is because I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with V3 gearboxes. I'm not really an expert. And also the second reason is because my motor cage is really wobbly for some reason. It wobbles back and forth and it wobbles up and down. And this is CNC machine, this is CNC machine. So I'm not entirely sure why there's so much wobble. And I tighten these screws as much as I can. The thing still wobbles a lot. I can shim this area. I absolutely can. It's just that I want to know. I messaged RetroArms to see if I got a lemon because you're, I don't know, you're matching a CNC part to another CNC part. I figured it should fit perfectly. But if it doesn't fit perfectly, maybe I should let them know. Oh, just to let you know something, when you buy RetroArms, you buy the gearbox, and then the motor cage is a separate piece. You have to buy that separately. So this is actually what it looks like. So, that's the gearbox, right? It costs quite a lot of money for a gearbox. That's completely empty, by the way. And then the motor cage. So you have to buy those two pieces separately. So total is about 144 US dollars. The rest of these parts you obviously don't need. You can just buy the motor cage and the gearbox. But I don't know why they sell those things separately. And why don't they come together for some reason. Not entirely sure why. But anyways, this is what it looks like. It's loose. Initially, I made a video talking about it, saying it was tight, but it does not seem like it in my case. Not entirely sure why. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm going to add a shim here to see if I can fix it in a second. But for now, I don't have a shim that fits. I have to modify the shim in order for it to fit, which is not a big deal. I can easily do that. It's just that I want to show you guys this before I modify it. And as a side note, some odd reason, they use torque screws for the gearbox. They use torque screws for this bottom area, but they use hex keys for the two screws that secures the motor cage to the gearbox. Not entirely sure why, but that's just what it is. So as you can tell, I was trying to shim my bevel gear, and in the process of doing that, I didn't realize that this was moving a lot. So, a little bit disappointed, to be quite honest with you, but it's okay. This is not a big deal. I don't want to look like I'm bad mouthing RetroArms, but I guess I was expecting a little bit better if everything's CNC machined. But it's okay. I'll work on that. I did message them first, asking them if this is normal, just to double check if I got a lemon or I did not get a lemon. So let's set those two screws aside, and my bevel gear is shimmed nicely, so there's a bit of play. Great, perfect. So, but this shimming is based on the V3 cage pressing perfectly down and not moving. So I'm not entirely sure what to do yet, but okay. As the LCT gearbox, by the way, this motor cage fits tightly. It actually fits so tight that I can hold on. Right, there's no screws here, by the way, so it actually holds on very well. You know, funny thing, you know the LCT gearbox, the gears are shimmed really bad. The gears in here are shimmed really badly. You can't turn the gears freely, which I thought that was funny. Like, you can't, like, they're hard to turn. Even though these are all bearings, they're very difficult to turn. So I thought that was weird. The shimming is way too tight. Way too tight. Anyways, I thought that was quite interesting. So that's it for the video. Sorry, I know it's a little bit boring, but I figured I just wanted to show you guys because this is sort of like the way I want to show you guys is I want to show you guys the problems that I see, and I just tackle them as I go. I'm just like you guys at the end of the day. I don't really have anyone teaching me, just an enthusiast building airsoft guns for fun in my own spare time. It's actually in the middle of the night, and I'm really bored and I can't sleep, so I figured I'll build some guns. I also have a keyboard that I'm building because I am bored. Anyways, peace guys. Happy shooting.